You're watching LWT.
Last time that Chris Eubank and Ray Close met for the world title, it finished in a controversial draw. Close halted Eubank's perfect winning record, but he didn't become the new world champion. The draw meant that Eubank retained the WBO super middleweight title of the world. Now live from Belfast on ITV, both men are out for justice. Good evening from the King's Hall in Belfast. Once again, one of British sport's great characters, Chris Eubank, is the man of the moment, the real attraction here. For the 14th time, the King of the Struts puts his WBO title right on the line. For the 39th time, he intends to remain unbeaten, but he has had some lucky decisions. Many people believe that last year, Ray Close's verdict was one of them. By the start of the 11th round, Eubank was trailing on the judges' scorecards, but the knockdown was to prove vital.
What a good round to finish his WBO Super Middleweight Championship of the World, and the crowd loving this Ray Close now. And full marks to Eubank. He said, well done, mate. I didn't expect it to be as tough as that.
People have said to me I should have lost. Some people say I should have won. The judges said draw. That's good enough for me. He's felt my strength. He knows me. He shouldn't be fighting me again. It's bad. That's bad management.
I think I'm in the best shape of my life, much better than when I fought Chris Eubank last May. But the crowd's going to be with me, everybody's going to be with me, and I believe that it will inspire me or push me to the level I need to go.
Well, here you have the complete fighter. I believe I will beat Ray Close within 3-4 rounds. I've put a bet on round 1 and 2. 3 is a better round. Maybe I've been anxious or hasty in my betting, but there's only one result. And that's me to win.
And back live, as you can see, at the King's Hall in Belfast, tonight's big-time boxing venue. Eubank has never been afraid to enter his opponent's den. Tonight, it's the emotive, partisan and very noisy Irish crowd, the home of many boxing triumphs and Irish heroes. Belfast, Ray Close carries all their hopes. If he causes a massive upset and becomes the first to beat Chris Eubank, it'll be Ireland's best night here since the heady days of Barry McGuigan. 10 fights I think you had here. What is the atmosphere really like on big fight night?
You're soon going to hear this is an incredible place. There's nothing quite like it, and nobody can actually explain what it's like to step up in there with your gloves laced up. It's just quite incredible.
How will they take to Eubank?
There's only one way they'll take to Eubank. They'll boo Eubank from the start, and everything that Close does that's in any way good, they will cheer to the high heavens.
Right, 3 quick points. First of all, Ray Close's chin. He got knocked down in the 11th, as you saw just then. Is he really going to last the distance?
Well, I don't think he is, because Eubanks is up for this fight. He wasn't up for the last one. He's trained better. He's got himself in tremendous shape, they say, and he's got the punching power. They're wearing raised gloves this time, so that'll make a difference too.
Right, now if it goes to points, that could be different.
Absolutely different. If the fight goes beyond 6 or 8 rounds, it could become really interesting, and there is a good chance that Eubank could lose this one if it goes that far.
Yes, let's have a look at the 3 judges here, because the WBO judging has at times been really wild. 2 Americans and Roy Francis from Great Britain, who's also a referee, of course. This is Clark Sammartino. He's from America, and so too is Gene Glenn. Roy Francis was the only one who scored a draw, actually, in Glasgow. Now, in that fight, there was wild scoring, complete difference from the other 2.
Well, you see, boxing scoring is subjective anyway. Some people add emphasis to quality. punching, other ones add emphasis to quantity, and of course some people add emphasis to presence in the ring and avoiding punches and blocking punches, so it's really subjective.
Okay, so the two boxers are ready, waiting for you to go through the break with us. On your return, we'll be looking at the challenger first in, Ray Close from Belfast, who promises he'll go one step better than a year ago in Glasgow. A points win is his best chance. The champion, Chris Eubank, who guarantees he's in better form than a year ago. He's getting a record purse. He's got a lot at stake as far as money is concerned. He believes he will win inside the distance. Controversy is never far away when he's around. For sure, Chris Eubank has everything on the line tonight. Eubank Close, live only on ITV, right after this break.
However good you look, there's always room for a little improvement.
Nicole?
Papa?
Now with even more refinement, the new generation Clio.
I am only 24 toasters from Scunthorpe.
With Premier Points from Mobil, you can start collecting gifts at Argos right away. Because what you don't have in points, you can make up in cash. There's no tokens, no hassle, no end of choice.
You are about to discover an emotion like no ice cream has ever offered you before. With the velvet caress of Ranieri, all else disappears. New Ranieri, a velvet emotion never before experienced.
Soothing, toning, cooling. Aftershave cooling gel, new from Lynx.
I think we were successful because we have a covert understanding of women. You know, there should be some celebration of women somewhere. I go into tribes and their notions of beauty just leave me breathless. Where women my age are considered sexy because we carry with us wisdom. I spend 6 months a year traveling, living in these communities, looking for ingredients. For me, there's a facility in American Express that just makes me sleep a bit better.
American Express is welcomed at the Body Shop and other trading places.
You can see it on his face. He has run the human race.
You can see when a man has the best shave possible. He uses Gillette Sensor, spring-mounted twin blades that adjust to his face.
See the spirit, see the pride that comes from deep inside.
He uses Gillette Series Shaving Gel, the high-performance gel. Together with Sensor, it's a shave that is unsurpassed.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
Eamon's closed, but like the Murphys, I'm not bitter. Especially as he asked me to join him for one, while he was waiting to open.
We had wanted to show you how much simpler the new Black & Decker twist-lock chuck is than the chuck on the other drill. But it appears they've lost their key.
Welcome back. It's bursting with atmosphere here. Chris Eubank of Brighton, unbeaten in 38 fights, making his 14th WBO defence and earning his highest purse to date, £860,000 for Mr. Eubank. He's very composed, he was very confident, not worried about the crowd. He thinks they'll be right and very fair as far as he's concerned tonight. I spent an hour with him earlier, absolutely relaxed, Chris Eubank. He's up against the #1 challenger, the local boy, Ray Close, who waited a year for their return since their controversial draw. We're all set, ready to go live. Our commentary team will be Jim Rosenthal and Jim Watt. But first of all, let's join the Master of Ceremonies, America's Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the main event. his man Ray Close. It's a real scrap to get to the ring here at King's Hall. Jam-packed, and he will get a wonderful reception. Very likeable fella, the hometown boy, the challenger Ray Close. No Limit by 2 Unlimited is his anthem.
The WBO Super Middleweight Champion, Chris Eubank.
Of a snarl on Eubank's face as he starts his entry. No one else has an entry like this, I would say, in boxing history. He is used to hostile receptions. He's keeping Ray Close waiting a bit. And in fairness, there's a fair amount of fascination as well as hostility from the crowd here in Belfast. But it's very, very noisy. Now, will he go over the rope? There's been a suspicion here that he won't. When I asked him earlier this week, he said, of course I will. I'm going to give it the full act. Let's have a look. Totally unmoved. Eubank says the jeers, the boos, the catcalls inspire him. Let's get back to Jimmy Leonard Jr.
Before our featured bout of the evening, at this time, we'd like to ask you to join us in the singing of the beloved Irish melody, Danny Boy.
The pipes are calling. Everybody sing! From glen to glen and down the mountainside. Sing it out! Sing it out! The summer's gone and all the flowers are dying.
fans joining us around the world, we welcome you to King's Hall in Belfast, Northern Ireland for the main event of the evening, Out for Justice, brought to you by Don King Productions and Sports Network, promoters Don King and Frank Warren, as sponsored by Corona Beer. This bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization. Supervisors Alice Richardson and Nick Karasiotis, along with the British Boxing Board of Control, the stewards in charge, Bill Sheeran and John Williamson. Physicians at ringside working this evening, Dr. George O'Neill, Dr. Paul McEwen, Dr. Dermot Grant. Timekeeper at the bell, we have Dale Elliott. Introducing to you the judges as appointed at ringside. Roy Francis, Gene Glenn, Dr. Clark Sammartino, and introducing to you the referee in charge of the bout to give instructions after the introductions, Paul Thomas. All right, fans, here we go with the rematch, main event of the evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, it's showtime! The WBO Super Middleweight Championship of the World, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first the challenger on my right in the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing green trunks, fighting out of and representing the beautiful city of Belfast, Northern Ireland. He weighed in at 12 stone even for the limit of 168 US pounds. His record includes 20 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, with 11 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the very popular WBO #1 ranked super middleweight contender, introducing the challenger known as Ray. Nothing comes close. And his opponent across the ring on my left is the defending champion in the red corner. He enters the ring wearing yellow trunks and fighting out of Brighton, England. His weight, 11 stone, 13 pounds, 14 ounces, or 167 3/4 US pounds. With a tremendous record of 36 wins, no losses, 2 draws, he has 18 wins coming by way of knockout. Welcome the colorful WBO Super Middleweight Champion of the World, known as simply the best, introducing the undefeated Chris Eubank. Once again, the referee in charge of this bout, Paul Thomas, now to give instructions.
Now then, I thought I'd seen just about everything in boxing, but there's been an unsavory incident here. A leprechaun, would you believe, has got into the ring and thrown all sorts of dust over Chris Eubank during those ceremonies. Eubank very, very put out. You can still see it glistening around his shoulders. Barry Hearn, in fact, leaned over to me and said, "We're not going to start until he's ready." It was tacky, it was tasteless, and it's all done to unsettle this fella Eubank. So they're doing their best to wind him up here, and there they are cleaning some of that tinsel off the ring. Certainly the sort of act that we could do without here. And Eubank, who looked as though he was genuinely enjoying the occasion and enjoying the entrance, his mood has changed dramatically here. And there's a fair bit of spring cleaning going on in the ring to prepare it for a world title fight. Well, what a reception for this fella. Ray Close. Has he got the equipment to do what he just failed to do last year? And there's going to be a few delays here at the King's Hall. Ronnie Davis, they looked absolutely furious in Eubank's corner. Barry Hearn, I think, can have a word with Gary Newbon now. Gary.
Barry, what exactly happened?
Well, I mean, they threw some sequins in the air. I mean, some sort of Irish limerick, I don't know. But it's a joke, in fact, because we can't box. We can't box until this ring is clear, because if it goes on someone's gloves, goes in their eye, can blind them. I mean, it's an insane act. I mean, stupidity beyond belief. But all right, the ring will clear, the fight will take place. It's not a problem. But it's going to be on our time now, so I'm sorry for holding everybody up, but you'll just have to sit here and watch it.
What effect will that have on Chris Eubank?
None effect whatsoever. I just don't want it to get on either boxers.
Will it fire him up?
No. I don't want it on either boxer's gloves because it's dangerous. Boxing's already dangerous. This is stupidity itself.
Do you think that the board should take some action against him?
We'll have to wait and see, Gary.
Right, where are you going now?
I want to see the ring is cleared, old son.
Thanks a lot, Gary. Well, we could really have done without all that. A gimmick that, well, went wrong here. And it'll be a little while before all that stuff is cleared away. Jim Watt, well, what do you make of all this? You've seen a few things, parachutes coming in and things like that.
Yes, it's a pity, obviously, we could have done without it. I think the little leprechaun who was trying to get into the spirit of the thing, I don't think it was malice he had in mind. He was going around sprinkling the stuff. I don't think he realised just quite what he was doing. I don't think it was malice. I don't think it was anything to upset Eubank. He was actually sprinkling around both corners. It was silly as happened, but thankfully I think we're almost ready to go. I don't think it'll have unsettled either of the boxers. They're both very experienced. So they should just go off, hopefully, within the next minute or so.
Indeed we are. Well, I don't know, when I saw all that stuff flying, I thought that perhaps we're at the wedding of Reg Guthridge's daughter Sally over there in Venice, all the old confetti or something flying around. Reggie not here tonight, a big date for him. Big Jack is here, but Reggie will be big on your screens on ITV next Wednesday. Well, hopefully after this enforced delay, Eubank will be dusted down and ready to go. Referee Paul Thomas, who refereed the first fight, no option really but to let things quieten down, to clear the ring and get on with the fight. We're getting a fair amount of that stuff brushed in our faces, Jim. It probably won't do us a lot of good either.
I think maybe a little bit overreaction. I mean, I don't think there's any serious problem. I think the fight can start now. I mean, if somebody touches down on the canvas, it'd be quite easy to wipe the gloves before they start off again.
Referee in charge, Paul Thomas, now to give instructions.
Okay, I've spoken to you both in your dressing room. You know what I expect of you. Give me a good, clean contest. Remember to defend yourselves at all times and obey my instructions at all times. Best of luck to both of you guys, okay?
Well, just let me remind you that Eubank has put £1,000 on himself to win in this first round at odds of 66-1. A lot of the folks in these parts have believed him because those odds today have come tumbling down to 25. But if you're getting 860,000, I suppose 1,000 is just loose change, really.
Second tight, round one.
Finally, off we go. And Ray Close says he expects Eubank to come out very fast. He's going to be careful. He wants to stay with him, and he wants his stamina to tell in the second part of the fight. Eubank with one of the greatest chins in the fight game, closest chin, can be frail. Big overhand right from Eubank, who's got a very fixed, determined look about him in this opening round.
I feel that Close's best chance of beating Eubank, Jim, was the first time they boxed, because I don't think Eubank was up properly for the fight, underestimated him. I think Chris Eubank will really be looking to do a job tonight. I think it's going to be a far harder night for Ray Close, but hopefully Ray's confidence has increased after his last tremendous performance, and maybe that will compensate for it.
It's quite a while since Eubank knocked anybody out. That's a good body shot. John Jarvis was quite a while ago. His recent opponents have tended to last the course, but Eubank started in very aggressive mood. And already Close slightly reddened on the side of his face. Close has got to outwork him, got to outthink him, got to outmaneuver him, got to be that bit quicker.
But what he has to do, Jim, he has to set the pace. He can't allow Eubank to control the pace. He likes to raise and drop the pace as it suits him, take a deep breath whenever he feels like it. Close can't allow that. He has to get that jab moving and try to back Eubank up. Making good use of the jab early, Close.
Eubank just pulling his head out of range. Says he's keen to take Close out with body shots. Close says that's impossible. He's coming a lot tighter, Close, than ever before. And has just had one fight since that draw with Eubank in Glasgow, that controversial draw that Gary's told you all about. Well, Close wasn't overawed when he went in with Eubank in Glasgow. He really has got a good temperament. But just occasionally, the pressures, the expectation of fighting in front of your own crowd can be as much of a disadvantage as an advantage. Last 15 seconds of what's been a pretty even first round. It doesn't look to me as though Mr. Eubank is going to add £66,000 to his purse. He does get him at it, doesn't he? And whether he's even going to bother to sit down after that first round. Right above us now, giving it the full repertoire. Ronnie Davis, the pit bull as he calls him, almost a look of resignation on his face. He's seen it all before. Freddie King, of course, an excellent cuts man in Eubank's corner. Very close with John Breen and
corners, 10 seconds.
Bernardo Checker, good fighter at his time, and of course Barney Eastwood, such an influential figure in these parts.
Seconds out. Round 2.
Well, Eubank's had a big bet on himself to finish it in the second as well, but precious few signs of an early finish in that first round, Jim.
Well, Eubank did let some real good solid shots go in the first round. I think he tried a couple of times maybe just to try to nail Close. But Close moving very well, using the jab, Eubank messing about. I think it's a silly thing. Eubank cannot work at a pace, so he can't afford to give rounds away. Sometimes he does that in his fights, he gives some rounds away by larking around, and it doesn't go with the rest of his style.
That's right, and he has sailed very, very close to the edge in his WBO fights. So many of them have gone to the judges. One or two have been controversial decisions, to say the least. And one day he's going to be upset, and Ray Close says he is definitely the man who's going to end this remarkable reign of Chris Eubank. Whether he's got the power to do that is my big doubt. He's neat, he's compact, he's a good pro. Ray Close. Eubank, though, is such a strong man, and he's getting to work in the second with some good body shots. He's really almost a light heavyweight coming down, Chris Eubank, isn't he, Jim?
Yeah, especially these days, the way they weigh in the day before the fight. I mean, Eubank, a real big super middleweight. Strength, I mean, the strength and the power heavily weigh in Eubank's favour. Close has to do it with his boxing ability. He has to keep that chin down nice and tight and out-punch Eubank. Just keep that bit busier, make use of that jab.
Good body shot again from Eubank there, right above us. They really dug in that right hand. And now headhunting a bit as well. Not a lot of posing from the champion in this second round. Close, though, working well inside. A nice little flurry of punches. That's his strength. Those little clusters that he throws his punches. And Eubank, well, he never fights for 3 minutes a round, does he? And he takes a bit of a breather here in the second. Referee Paul Thomas handled the first fight, non-scoring, of course, says he prefers it that way, just pushing the two apart. Very close, a good flurry in the second. Two left hooks and a right to the head. And the challenger, the local boy, starting off pretty well as we come towards the end of the second round. We got a good one.
Yes, you take care now, Julia. Don't talk to any strange men.
I'll be fine, Pop.
Julie, Julia.
It's heaven, Atkins.
Yes, just you, me, the Vauxhall Astra, 2-litre convertible, ABS brakes, power steering, optional electric roof. I love you, Julia.
Say it again.
ABS brakes, power steering, optional electric roof.
I don't know who this new boyfriend of Julia's is, but at least he's got good taste. He drives one of those fine Astras.
Atkins!
Second fight. Right three.
Hello again from the King's Hall in Belfast. Probably one round apiece as they go into the third. Totally different characters. Close. Quiet living. A Mormon religious man who never goes near the gymnasium on a Sunday. Chris Eubank. Flash and flamboyant. Head ducking a little bit low there, and Close gets a warning. And really the last press conference told the difference between them for me. Barry McGuigan has them level going into the third as well. There was Eubank with the monocle, the cane, the full Monty and everything, and the jumpers. And in a sweatshirt was Ray Close. Very different fighters. But of course, the win here would transform Close's career. Terrific support for Ray Close, Jim.
Yeah, and he's earning their support. He's working at a decent pace. His tactics are fairly sound. He's not getting involved up close with Eubank, trying to use the jab, trying to put a couple of punches together without just committing himself too much. So Eubank trying to pot shot with single shots, that's allowing Close the chance maybe to nick a couple of early rounds.
A big wild overhand right from Eubank that we've seen so often over the years. A long way off target as well. Eubank firing in those body shots as he promised he would. Breaks a lot of the rules in the game and still succeeds. That's why quite a few people dislike him. At the moment, Close looks that little bit busier perhaps. That was a low blow. Referee Thomas let it go. But has he got the power to really hurt Eubank? That's my big doubt, Jim.
That's the trouble. As soon as Eubank decides it's time to come forward, he can push Close back. The difference in strength and power, as I said, it weighs heavily in his favour. But can he use that strength and power? Close's tactics are good. He's not getting involved, and this is what he has to do. Just don't take chances. Try to nick some early rounds, and hopefully have the strength to coast in the latter rounds.
Eubank says he didn't work for the last fight. He says he's really done all that road work this time round. Close is still light on his feet, he's still bouncy. It was the first time he went the full 12. When he met Eubank exactly a year ago, he said he was daunted by that prospect. This time he's ready for it. He's up for this one, and he's giving Eubank everything he can handle as we come towards the end of the third.
As smooth as an olive oil salesman introducing the subject of you being a bit short of olive oil into a general conversation about otters.
As you may have noticed, the new 9,970-pound Volvo 440 has been restyled both inside and out. In fact, it has so many new features, it would seem a shame to spoil them. The new 9,970-pound Volvo 440, a car you can believe in.
New Brut Aquatonic from Fabergé.
The essence of man.
Second time, round 4. We're back at a packed and very noisy King's Hall in Belfast for the 4th round, the WBO super middleweight, that's 12-stone title between the champion Chris Eubank and the Irish challenger Ray Close. And at the moment, for me, Close has just been that little bit busier and might just be edging things at the moment, but of course a very long way to go. Eubank said before this fight, took Close aside in Berlin actually after his last fight against Rocky Gianni and said, you shouldn't fight me, you know, you should mix in lower company, go and make your money elsewhere, you'll be a fool to fight me again. Kidology or what? Close couldn't wait to get back in with him. He felt he was robbed last time and he wants to put things right on his home soil. And it's a good challenge, Jim.
Yeah, very good. For me, he's doing everything right. See, he's letting the punches go again. Eubank relies, in the 3rd round, he was relying on single shots, powerful shots, but they weren't landing. Close was banging away with a little jab. I thought he just nicked the 3rd round. I have Close is 1 round in front at this point. But Eubank is going to have to busy up. That's always been a big failing in his style. He can't maintain the work rate.
He always has done just about enough, Eubank. But one day, he's going to just go too near the edge and teeter over. He says he always does just enough work. He prepares specifically to the opponent that he's got. He underestimated Close last time. Has he done so again? Odds-on favourite, of course, Eubank. Even in the betting shops of Barney Eastwood, the biggest bookmaker in Northern Ireland, shook his head there. Well, he wasn't hurt, but he was certainly hit by Ray Close.
Close's defence seems fairly sound as Eubank does try to come forward. Eubank still missing a lot.
Eubank so elusive. Well, he's missed that one by a long way.
Setting up smooth attacks has never been Eubank's strong point either. He always has trouble if he has to come forward looking for opponents. He tries sometimes big silly swings, and we just saw one there. Throws himself off balance.
Where's Alex?
Taking those drawings to the Frasers in Edinburgh.
The personal touch. Good. Alex?
Jones Brothers? Glamorgan? Gothic Arch Project?
Jones Brothers. Good. Good.
Overseeing the shipment of artifacts from, Dieppe.
Dieppe? Dieppe? Excellent. Never shown this much enthusiasm before.
Never had an escort SI before.
Second time, round 5.
Eubank up early for the 5th. He didn't expect the fight to go this long. Good jolting left hand from Eubank there. Just about the best straight, hurtful jab he's thrown. And well, of course, this is Barry McGuigan's scorecard. And he's got Eubank just ahead. Of course, it's only an opinion. I'm sure those of you at home are making your own opinions of this fight. Eubank, though, the man who stops dinner parties in their tracks. Compelling sporting figure. He's only stopped one of his last 9 opponents. And all that bravado and boasts of an early stoppage haven't materialised here.
Good long-range boxers, they're always going to give Eubank some troubles. And that's what Close is doing, trying to keep it out of range, just use the jab, don't get involved, and that's the perfect tactics. He's going to have to get involved in the last third of the fight if it goes that far, but they don't get involved early.
I'll tell you what, Jim, he smacked that left jab in a couple of times really well in this round, Eubank, and again.
Eubank has an excellent left jab, but he hasn't really mastered the art of getting into punching range to make full use of the jab. He tends to miss with it at times and lunge with it, but it is a good, solid left jab. Not paying enough attention to defence, Eubank, because Close hasn't the power to trouble him. He's maybe just leaving his chin exposed too often.
That's what he said, Eubank. He said he smelt Close's strength. He knows he can't hurt him. Well, that's dangerous talk, of course, but that's how he feels. And the one thing you can never criticise Eubank for has been lack of strength.
Eubank's jab, he's got it onto range in this round a little bit better.
Two good punches from Ray Close. Left hook and followed up with a right. And he has really prepared hard for this one, Ray Close. Again, such a difference in the personality as he's motoring around Belfast in a little second-hand car, and Eubank, well, he just doesn't travel unless he goes in a limo. Got his private jet back home from Belfast. Very, very contrasting professionals up there, Jim.
Yeah, well, let's face it, Chris has reaped the rewards. He's been there longer, he's put in the work, so you can't grudge him that. A couple of times, maybe been a little bit fortunate, things have gone his way, but that's life and that's sport.
Of course, it was in the 11th in the last fight that Eubank produced a huge uppercut that saved his title, really. And that's 5 rounds gone here at a packed King's Hall. And Eubank, I'm not sure he listens too much in that corner. He almost says he manages himself, he decides his own tactics. He fights his way, Jim.
He does everything his own way. Really got his left jab onto range. That was a perfect left jab, and Eubank got a few of those through. He closed the range down and close a little bit in that round. Got that a little bit closer, got his punches off a little bit quicker than he's been doing. But I still feel he really wants a big round to try and put a dent in Close's confidence. Close, still a lot of confidence about his boxing.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Well, just eavesdropping a bit in Close's corner. They're saying, come on, you can do this, it's there for the taking.
Second time.
Well, they all say that, really.
Round 6.
But certainly round 6, scheduled for 12. If you're just joining us here live from the King's Hall in Belfast, a very, very good fight, an even fight so far between Chris Eubank and Ray Close. And even, well, that's how Barry McGuigan has it, as I was saying it. Dead even.
Eubank trying to match Close's jab now, and it's far more solid. Close is going to have to find an answer to that jab. If Eubank starts pumping that forward, he's going to have a bit more body movement. See, that's catching him now. Close coming in too straight and too square.
And there's a cut, is there, on Close's head. There's a cut. Close is certainly cut, whether that's from a clash of heads I must admit, I didn't see how that happened, Jim, did you?
No, it looks as though it's coming from his forehead. I didn't notice any clash, but that's the normal. If there's a cut on the forehead, normally it's a little bump of heads.
I don't think that should be too serious. It seems to be pretty high, perhaps even underneath the hairline. I don't think that that should disturb him too much. But a little incentive for Eubank here in the 6th. It's been another tricky, awkward defence for Eubank. All he wants to do, he says, is win. He doesn't mind how he wins. He doesn't want to knock people's spark out or anything. He just wants to win and keep on collecting the money, and that's a very, very dangerous tactic, Jim.
Yeah, and I tell you, this is a hard round. This is one of the hardest rounds we've seen so far in the fight. Close, just a few signs he's just a little bit more ragged than he was earlier. He's taking more shots as he comes in. Eubank's trying to busy up. I think he realises he wants a big round. It's not a big round, but Close being caught a lot more often here.
It's a good solid jab from Eubank once more. Well, he's been true to his word as Ray Close. He says he was going to work and work and work. It'd be the second half of the fight where Eubank's lack of stamina would tell, and we'll find out, Jim, if he's been having us all on or if he has really been doing all that training. Good round, though.
This is probably the best and the hardest round of the fight so far, and I like the way Ray Close is still trying to come forward, still trying to take the initiative. He may not have the power, but he's certainly strong enough for the job.
Big punches coming in from Eubank towards the end of the 6th.
This is a difficult round to judge, Jimmy, but just Close, the fact that he's taken the initiative might just sway it his way.
And Ray Close waves to his supporters, who might be starting to sense an upset here, but he's still got a heck of a lot of work to do. And let's just see his corner working on that cut, as we said. It's quite high. It's quite high on his forehead. Jim, we're not sure. This is where we think that cut might have occurred.
Well, a couple of little clashes have taken place. Yep, that more or less definitely. I mean, normally that type of injury has been caused by a clash, purely accidental, but there you go. Nothing serious, we hope.
Yeah, that's well spotted by our replay boys. Terrific. It was a little bump of heads. And let's hope it won't ruin what is developing into a really good fight. Perhaps they'll talk about this night down the years. Do you remember when Close fought Eubank at the King's Hall? And Eubank giving nothing away as always in the corner. And up and ready to go.
Round 7.
Eubank's the stronger, he's got the bigger punches. Close, the busier. And will he prove to be the fitter? And will he prove to be the man who ends this remarkable reign of Chris Eubank? Just to remind you, those judges that we saw at the top of the programme, 2 from America and Roy Francis from Great Britain, are the ones who will decide this fight, or could decide it at the end of 12. Gary, I think, can have a word with Ronnie Davis, Chris Eubank's trainer. Gary.
Ronnie, this is not going according to plan, and Close is doing really well. We have him ahead.
Yeah, Chris has got to start stepping out of the world. He's doing it now. He's starting to step it out now. He'll be all right. I've every faith in him.
But is he going to stop Close? He seems to be unable to stop opponents these days.
Well, he hasn't really opened up yet. You know, let's hope that he will.
He's got the stamina?
He's got the stamina, no problem.
So what are you telling him?
Just to start working, get his jab up. He's going to start punching harder. He's going to start working now. If he doesn't, he'll let it slip away. He mustn't be stupid or lazy.
Well, he didn't sound all that confident to me, Jim.
Well, I tell you, you have to hand it to Ray Close in this round, because Eubank come out, that's the gum shields down. Eubank sportingly walked away. That's a nice touch from Eubank. But Eubank tried for control at the start of this round. It looked as though he was going to get it, and Close has really come back well. Just a pity the action has been broken. A nice little touch from Eubank, the way he walked away then.
Yeah, that was good sportsmanship from Eubank, because technically they could have boxed on until the end of the round here, according to the regulations. Eubank didn't want any part of that, and he virtually, not that Paul Thomas wouldn't have done it anyway, but he virtually forced the referee to put that gum shield back in Ray Close. Full marks to Eubank for that. But I reckon he's going to have to start digging deep here to hang on to his title.
He really needs a big round just to try to dent some of the confidence that Ray Close is showing. I felt the reason Close didn't win the last fight, it took him like maybe 3 rounds to gain his confidence. It was a little bit overawed, and the longer the fight went, the better Close became. Well, he started that bit quicker tonight. He has the confidence of having fought Eubank before. And Eubank is struggling at times here.
He's not just giving Eubank the time to rest, he's not giving him the time to do that walk around and that get those breathers. He's on him and at him and knacking away with that jab. Terrific challenge from Ray Close, doubling up that left hook, and the crowd here are loving it.
Well, I said earlier that you can't allow Eubank to dictate the pace. He likes to raise it and drop it to suit him. Well, Close has done that. He's really been always keen and eager to make the first move, set the pace, take the initiative.
And Ray Close was worried when he went beyond 8 last time. He was worried about going the full 12. This time, that distance holds no fears for him. Let's have a word with Barry McGuigan. He's with Gary.
Barry, how are you scoring this, Barry?
I have Eubank 2 down at this stage. He's losing and he's letting it go. He hasn't done his work in the gym, obviously, and he's not able to sustain his pace. And Close is just outworking him. That's the plain and simple. That's plain and simply what's going on at the moment.
We discussed that we thought that Ray Close would win if it went the distance. Eubank doesn't look as if he's going to stop him at this stage.
Well, a lot of work obviously has gone into Close's preparation, and preparation is everything. And he's just not working enough, Eubank. It's the same old story, not consistent enough. And I mean, these rounds are very close, but you have to say it Close is ahead.
He does have a lot of luck with decisions. Do you think this might be the night that Eubank runs out?
As I said, these decisions are subjective.
Second time.
Well, so the opinion round here at ringside is that Eubank has got to do something pretty special in the closing third of the fight to get the verdict. It's all building up from those shenanigans at the start of the fight. Let's just have a little check at the scorecard and see how it... Well, there we are, just confirmation. He's got him a couple of points up, Barry McGuigan. And Ray Close showing no signs of dropping a gear. He might not have the power, but he's got the work rate.
He also has the physical strength, Jim. I mean, Close is strong enough, although he's not powerful. He's not a powerful puncher, but he has strength. He can grit his teeth and hang on in there. And the fact that he came off the floor in the last fight, I mean, that was a good punch at the later stages of a fight. So he did well to come off the floor and get back onto the job. He's certainly robust enough for this.
It's always dangerous to plan ahead in this game. And Eubank has got some very big financial plans around the corner. And Ray Close is giving every indication that he might ruin them. Eubank again jolting out that left hand. That's been his best punch. He brought over a good right there, Eubank. Remember, it was one punch that pulled it round in Glasgow. Can Eubank produce another similar effort here in Belfast? You can't take your eyes off this one though, Jim.
No, this is a cracker. I mean, Eubank still tending to try to pot shot with a single punch. That was one of the few times he put 2 punches together and he had Close in a little bit of trouble. If he wants to hang on to his title, he has to let more punches go. Single shots are no good at this stage.
This is the first time Ray Close has topped a major boxing bill in his hometown Belfast. The chants are ringing out around King's Hall for him. And as we expected, he has given absolutely everything, but never right off Chris Eubank. He's pulled fights out of the fire before.
Eubank struggling a little bit. He's looking very leaden-footed. taken too long to get away from Close's jab. I think Eubank is the one who is actually showing he's a little bit tired here. Things not going his way.
Just trying to bully Ray Close towards the end of the 8th round. Big uppercut, that was the punch that saved his title in Glasgow. It was a whisker away from doing some severe damage here in Belfast.
And that was the exact same circumstances, Close backing off.
Now just looking at Eubank, he's down into his corner a little bit more smartly this time. Eubank, though, came back pretty well in that round and showed a few champion-like flashes, if you like, Jim.
Yeah, but now and again looked a little bit leaden-footed, as I said, getting caught still with the jab. He wants to put more punches together. He really needs a big round.
Well, has he done the work? Has he run those 8 miles a day on the pebbles of Brighton, as he assured us? Or what about this guy, Ray Close? Just one fight since the last one. He has geared his whole career in the last year to getting revenge over Chris Eubank. And at the moment, that upset could be on the cards. Round 9, they were really geeing Eubank up in the corner. Business now. Close turning him superbly on the ropes above us. Lovely footwork. It looked as though those were going to be Eubank's moments, and all of a sudden Close was out of there on switching the attack his way. Great stuff.
Close just wants to be careful for the first half minute, 45 seconds here. Eubank doesn't tend to sustain attacks, so why take a chance to get nailed in the first minute of the round?
You'll all be scoring them back home. Barry McGuigan now has Eubank one ahead at the end of the fight. It's just a guide for you. I'm sorry, Ray Close one ahead. Sorry about that. It's just a guide for you, of course. And at the end of the day, what I think, what Jim Watt thinks, what Barry McGuigan thinks won't count at all. It'll be down to the judges. Just looking at that cut, as we showed you from that accidental butt, it's doing no real damage to Ray Close, and it's certainly not holding him back in any way, Jim.
No, it's not his slightest problem. It's not bleeding heavily, blinding him. Everything's fine. They've got the cut under control.
The danger here for Close is that he gets overconfident, and he gives Eubank that opening. What a beautifully controlled fight the Irishman's fought, though. Good right hand coming over, but you've got to have a big right hand to knock down Eubank. His jaw is rock solid.
Close just doesn't want to allow Eubank to come forward if he can prevent it. See, again, Eubank, when the need was there to sustain an attack and sustain some pressure, he's not doing it.
Jim, you've always said that throughout his fights. And Eubank has always had the last laugh by winning the fight. But the tightrope's wobbling here, isn't it?
Yep, because his own punches are not landing cleanly. Even if his own good solid shots were troubling Close, but he's never really had him in any trouble. Close always coming back with that jolting little jab.
Pretty close round the 9th, though. 3 to go. After this, if he goes the full distance.
Well, Eubank hasn't landed in this round without taking one back from Close. This really is a hard-fought round, this one.
Once again, a little salute from Ray Close to his fans. And this time, Chris Eubank walks around the edge of the ring and puffs his chest out. But that's been a busy and effective corner so far for Ray Close.
Well, both made good use of the left jab. Eubank, once again, the most more powerful of the two, but that was a nice little chopping right hand from Close. I think he must realise by now he doesn't have the power really to stop this, so he wants to think about pacing himself, keep his chin down nice and low, and just keep working that jab, which is working well for him.
Well, it was, if you'll excuse me, desperately close last time. And it's a very, very even fight this time round. In fact, what happens in these next 3 rounds might just decide it.
Round 10.
And Close comes out busy and bouncing. Eubank's walk to the centre of the ring is rather more measured. Let's have another look at Barry's scorecard. Dead level, he's got it with 3 to go. What do you feel, Jim? Do you agree with that? Pretty level now?
I've got Close as one in front. I couldn't separate them in the last round. I thought every time Eubank landed, so did Close. I couldn't split them at all in the previous round.
Of you at home and watching in pubs and clubs, I'm sure will be making your own minds up about this. I must say, Close's work rate and the way he's gone about the job here tonight has been admirable.
Eubank still trying to work that body every chance he gets. Trying maybe to take some of the steam out of Close's legs. Close for the first time just showing a little bit of tiredness in this round. Not getting the punches off just as quick as he has been.
I know Eubank feels, Jim, that it's up to his opponents to make every fight against him. And certainly Close has been setting the pace here, isn't he?
Yeah, he's always been ready to be the first one to set off the attacks. But just a couple of signs of tiredness in his work in this round.
Oh, there's a big right hand from Eubank, and Close has wobbled. Close has wobbled in the 10th. What a right hand from the champion. And Close in the 10th is in big, big trouble. One punch again has changed the complexion of this fight.
He just wants to grab hold of Eubank. He doesn't want to back off. He doesn't want to put his hands down at his side. That's stupidity. Grab a hold of Eubank and see the round out. You've lost the round anyway. He's been a little bit ragged in this round. You've lost the round. Don't lose the fight because of it.
Can Eubank finish him here? He's not been the best of finishers in recent fights. Will he finish off the challenger Close in the 10th?
Close wants to keep his feet. He doesn't want a 10-8 round against him, but he doesn't want to take chances. Just see this round out, grab hold of Eubank when he becomes dangerous.
What a round for Eubank. But Close says, I'm still standing. He'd do better to get back there and let them work on him. We warn you, never write him off. When it looks gloomy, Eubank does tend to come back.
Well, the main thing is Close managed to prevent Eubank scoring a knockdown and therefore a 10-8 round. So a 10-9 round to Eubank, which for me squares the fight up. But what must be alarming in the Close's corner, does he have the strength? Suddenly he just became ragged then, seemed to lose an awful lot of steam, and Eubank looks so much stronger, so much more effective. I've got him dead level with 2 rounds to go, but you have to ask, does Close have the condition to get himself back in here? Eubank still looking strong, doesn't waste too many punches in a fight, so he finishes well.
Well, just looking at that, Barry McGuigan gave that to Eubank by 2 clear points. I'm not sure about that. I always feel you have to go down to get a 2-point round, but there we are, that's Barry's view. 2 to go. Can Eubank finish it? Will Close find some reserves in the last scheduled 6 minutes? How much dodges that big punch. It caught him just round the back of the ear, it seemed to me. Taken out of Ray Close. Eubank's hunting him now. He's banged in a big right hand as well. And Close is holding.
See, the trouble, Close doesn't have that compact look that he had earlier on. Everything under control. He now looks a little bit ragged and a little bit tired. He should just give Eubank the first 45 seconds of this round, let him burn himself out a little bit, then try and get his boxing back together. Doesn't want to go with Eubank.
You've got to hand it to Eubank. The 11th in Glasgow, he saved his title. And has he won it here with that right hand in the 10th? And I know Barney East would question Eubank's stamina. Well, he's finishing pretty well. Close, as Jim Watt pointed out, seemed to be slowing a bit in the ninth. And he was jolted by that powerful right hand in the 10th. Once again, the Irishman's head is snapped back as all of a sudden Eubank finds a bit of sting in his punches.
Close must keep forcing these punches out. Eubank himself, Jim, is looking fairly tired as well here. Big gulps of air.
Well, they're both going to be... Well, they're both going to feel it tomorrow, that's for sure. Good uppercut from Eubank there. That was a good uppercut inside. Heads banged together again, that uppercut from Eubank. Again, Ray Close's gum shield is out. And what's Paul Thomas going to do? I think he's... Eubank says he's got it. It's just the gum shield. It's just the gum shield, I think.
I don't think the referee should have broken the action there. A referee should wait for a suitable time to replace the gum shield. I mean, they were both really landing real good, solid shots there. I feel a little bit sorry mainly for Eubank there because his were the more solid. I think the referee could have picked a better time to replace that gum shield. I think Close was given an advantage there.
I think I'm right in saying, according to the WBO rules, he should have let the fight go on there, Paul Thomas, but he's refereed it very well. Very experienced official from Derby. Sensible. And the gum shield for the second time is replaced in Ray Close's mouth. Eubank turned his back on him there, and Close came pouring in after that unexpected respite. Big overhand right from Eubank.
And that was a tired-looking punch as well, Jim. That was just a big cricket-throwing punch. Really signs of tiredness from both men here.
Contemptuous stuff from Eubank, saying, I know what you've got. End of the 11th. There's a lot of showboating going on out there. I tell you what, it's still very, very close. It is. It's a cliffhanger. And you can see the urgency that Ronnie Davies got Eubank back into the corner, said, forget all that posing. We want to talk to you. You've still got a bit to do. They're trying to roar Ray Close on for one final effort. And just one check on the scorecard. Well, now Barry McGuigan has him 3 points up, having given him the last couple of rounds, and of course that 2-point round. I'm not sure, it might be a mite closer than that. Away we go. Once again, Eubank has gone the full distance. Unless we have an absolutely spellbinding last round. You couldn't turn this one off. There wouldn't have been many reaching for the remote control during this fight. It sustained our attention all the way. And you just have to wonder now if Eubank's final flourish has been enough. There'll be debates, rows, arguments deep into the night here in Belfast, no matter which way it goes, Jim.
Okay, well, surprisingly, once again, Close has managed to pull himself together in the last round here and drag energy up from somewhere.
Just He's noticing in his corner Barney Eastwood and Bernardo Checker cheerleading the crowd to try and summon up the last reserves from Ray Close. What a night and what a fight. In many ways, it's a shame it's going to end here.
Yeah, Eubank himself is desperately tired. You can see the way he's stumbling there. He's still pumping that jab out.
He might just have picked up a bit of damage around his eye as well, Eubank there. The last half of the last round. Listen to the noise for Ray Close. But has he done enough to become a world champion? Or will he be gallant but disappointed once again?
This is the kind of scrappy round. They're both so tired, Jim. Not really any close punches landed.
Eubank's fought a shrewd and clever round here. That one landed, Jim. That was a left hook. But again, it just bounced off that superbly conditioned jaw of Chris Eubank. Paul Thomas, in the main, has let the fighters get on with it. They're putting the foot down for the last 25 seconds.
Both just so desperately tired, just driving themselves on.
And they will both feel they've done enough to win.
To Ronnie Davis. Ray Close believes he's won it. It doesn't matter what he thinks. It's down to Roy Francis from Kent, one of our top referees, the only judge to score a draw in Glasgow, to Gene Glenn from Cleveland, Ohio, 33 years in the boxing game, and to Clark Sammartino, a facial surgeon from Providence, Rhode Island. Barry McGuigan has it comfortably Eubank's way. But it's down to the judges. These are very, very tense moments. Will the delight on his face turn to despair? Has Eubank toppled over the edge this time? Is that the face of a loser? He knows that it could go the wrong way, but this fella, he looks delighted. He was just damaged a bit round the left eye, Chris Eubank. And that last round. Don King is above me, screaming that Ray Close has won the fight. Jim Watt?
Well, I don't know, but I think Don King would prefer for Ray Close to have won the fight, to get hold of him. But I had him level after 10 rounds, and I thought in the last 3 rounds that Eubank, just with his strength, just nicked it slightly in his favour. But it was so many close rounds in the first 6 or 7 rounds, which could have gone either way. This one is desperately close. I just leaned towards Eubank by 1 point, but depending how the early rounds went, not in the slightest surprise if Ray Close, after the tremendous challenge he has mounted, is the new champion.
Well, you look at the faces and you try to work out the story. I wouldn't complain if Close got it. He didn't want it to go to the judges. He didn't want it to be accused of a hometown decision. He couldn't finish it in his own time.
He looks absolutely delighted with it. And they are slapping him on the back, Ray Close. If you take it at face value, perhaps someone's blown in his ear. He's got it, Jim.
Well, after the way he went about the job, Jim, if you think about it as a 12-round fight, your heart tells you feel Ray Close should be the winner. But mathematically, if I have them level after 10 rounds, and I think the last couple of rounds, the Eubank strength just got him in front. That big round he had was just maybe swayed it his way. But your heart is saying to you, Close should be world champion.
Well, these are gut-wrenching moments, really. We're wondering where's Jimmy Lennon Jr., the official announcer. Is he ready with the verdict? Just peering through. There's bedlam in the ring there.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Gene Glenn, scores the bout 118-112, Chris Eubank. Judge at ringside, Roy Francis, scores the bout 117-114, Ray Close.
One apiece so far.
Judge at ringside, Mark Sammartino, scores the bout 105-104 in favor of the winner and still champion, Chris
Eubank's got it. Eubank has got it. So, Roy Francis, the British judge, gave it by a big 3 points to Close. One judge gave it by a big 6 points to Eubank. And the decisive one. But I'm not sure about this scoring, though. This makes no sense to me.
I don't even understand that last scoring. I don't know, 105, 104.
That makes no sense.
What we're talking about, we're scoring out of 120 points maximum for a 12-round fight. I don't know where that scoring comes from.
That makes no sense to me at all. I thought I'd misheard that 105, 104. Let's have a word with Gary Newbon. Go on, Jim.
Well, certainly that last score makes no sense whatsoever. You have 120 points maximum if you win every round. How can it be 105? It could be 115, 114, but not 105, 104. So we certainly have some problems here.
Yes, it seems to me that one of the judges, I think it's Sammartino, Clark Sammartino, the facial surgeon from Providence, Rhode Island, has left a round out there. Or has only scored, or perhaps it's down to the supervisor. I don't know, Jim.
I don't know what's going on here. There's certainly a problem.
Okay, perhaps we can now hear Gary Newbon. He's with Frank Warren.
Well, Frank, just a few seconds ago, before we were able to talk to you, I did tell you it can't be 105.
No, apparently, I just asked the Simon Block. He said it's 115, 114.
Oh, well, that's a bit different.
It's a lot different. But let me tell you, have you ever seen such a disparity of scoring again? It's crazy. This is poster scores. That was wrong. Ray Close did.
Okay.
Don, WBO should be barred from boxing.
Why? Why?
Because they came already with the decision made before they got here.
Well, that's a bit strong. I'm not sure about that. Let's try and get one of the boxers over. Can we get Chris Eubank over here, Frank, please?
Well, we'll have a word with Chris Eubank in a minute with Gary, I'm sure. But you heard what Don King said there. He is furious with the decision. Jim, we said either way it was going to be a very, very close thing. Now that we've sorted it out, it's 115, 140, not 105, 104.
Well, as I said, that made sense to me. But once again, the WBO scoring has ruined a wonderful fight. There was never 6 rounds in that fight either way. I mean, that was a very close fight all the way. Let's not forget, it was a tremendous fight. Mathematically, given a Eubank, you can't argue with it. I just feel so sorry over the 12 rounds for Ray Close. But that was a close fight. Never in your life was there 6 rounds in that fight.
Yes, absolutely. Chris Eubank, still the champion. He's with Gary.
Chris, that was unbelievably close. Just 1 point kept you as the champion.
Okay, well, I think Ray done something extraordinary tonight. I fought Michael Watson in the first fight, and I think I beat him. It was close. Michael Watson came back and gave me a beating the second fight, and I clished the decision, or I stopped him. Ray Close done the same thing here tonight. He was supernatural. He was an unbelievable performer. Only can give him credit. That's what happened. I talked a lot before the fight about stopping him early. But this is one strong character. Basically, Karen, I'm still here by the skin of my teeth. You know, it's a hostile crowd. Let me just say thank you very much. Gary Newborn, it's been a pleasure working with you.
Pleasure working with you, Chris.
Working with ITV. And I know tonight, yes, it was controversial, but then that always surrounds the name Eubank. Thank you.
And Chris, a terrific finish. That's what kept you in as a champion. Terrific finish in the last few rounds.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Gene, can you open the cafe tomorrow?
Yeah.
Love you to death, Karen.
Good luck to you. Let's talk to Ray Close now. We're not in the normal interview position here, but we can't get out. We're stuck here. So Ray Close, very, very close. Just 1 point in it, 1 round.
I don't know what I have to do. That's twice I've beat him now. I don't know what I have to do.
Did you think you'd won?
Yeah, I thought we'd won. And I won the last time, I won this time. I don't know what I have to do.
Well, I thought you were going to win if you were going to do it on points, but he had a storming finish, a fantastic effort for you, but not quite enough in the closing round.
One round, you know, I won the last round again.
He closed the round.
I finished it stronger, you know, I was way ahead. Say 2-3 rounds easy, you know. I don't know what you got to do.
Thank you very much indeed, Ray Close. So, what a finish. Controversy as ever with Chris Eubank. That little bit of luck that got him back in the fight, the little bit of luck that got him a judge's point. It was a great fight. And Chris Eubank, 39, he's still unbeaten, he's still champion. Good night.